another episode of Couch Act hosted by myself, Patrick of Midwest Days, and then over there we got the other Pat from Westtown Weed. And in today's episode, we're going to be going over a quick little article here from the Ganjapreneur about how Indiana voters back legalization. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, Pat, what do you think about this?
Um, yeah, like you just said, surprise, surprise. Uh,
Surprise, surprise.
we found a pretty interesting article over at the Ganjapreneur that's claiming 70 they took a poll of registered Indiana voters and 70% claimed that they would be for adult use cannabis in Indiana. So that's what they like to call a supermajority in
Big
the
old
politics.
support over there. And again, that's no surprise because this is something Pat and I have talked about here before. That state is surrounded by weed. I mean, you've got us, you've got Michigan, you got Ohio, and now recently you've also got Kentucky with medical. So, I mean, Indiana is really pinned in there where everybody else around is just like, when are they going to fold?
Yeah, literally every state surrounding that touches Indiana has some type of legal cannabis program. Like Patrick just said there, we got Illinois, Michigan. We all know that Michigan has a thriving market, and Ohio just recently joining them with all
Yep.
adult use. And even Kentucky has a medical program. I'm
Yep.
not sure what their medical program is like. I'm sure it's not too great. Um,
I was going to say, I
Maybe
think
Patrick
some
knows a little bit more.
details there. I don't remember if they have actual dispensaries up. I remember
I
they
don't think
did.
so.
Yeah, I think it's the thing where, Missouri, you can get a medical card if you are out of state. Say if you live in Kentucky and you get a medical card in Missouri and you bring something back to Kentucky and have a receipt to prove that you got that for that
I remember.
there, that's how it's legal and stuff, which it's a crazy concept of how to start it off, but it's a nice way to see it start off, I guess, it's better than nothing.
I remember that. Yeah, you had to have proof that you purchased that medical cannabis
Yep.
alongside your medical cannabis card at a medical dispensary. Um, I remember that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something
it's
that
a
happened
very
in
weird
the
thing
past
that
year or so.
we were both like, what?
But yeah, this poll was by Causeway Solutions, and the results were released by Safe and Regulated Indiana. The interesting part about that is these are both um, either have Republican ties or Republican backing. So that's something we're not normally used to hearing when we're talking about pro cannabis. Um, which to me is just good news that we might have a more bipartisan approach to cannabis in Indiana
Yep.
if and when it finally comes.
Yeah, I think that's something too. With Indiana always boasts about how their taxes and stuff are cheaper than Illinois and all that stuff. I think that's
Mhm.
something we'll see them blow away Illinois on.
Yeah, we won't have a Michigan market, I don't think, but I think we'll somewhere in the healthy middle.
But yeah, I was gonna say it'll be a nice in between because they got Ohio too that's got really high prices.
Yeah, and they're the ones with interesting weights too. Like
2.5s an eighth or something like that, or
yeah, like
something.
their eighths are 2.83 or something like that.
What the hell?
Yeah. There was a reasoning behind that, but I forget what it was. I think a lot of it had to do with them not wanting to have association with anything like black market.
Yep,
So,
that's it.
but that's what the people know. So why mess with that? You had a whole
Why are you
system
gonna
already
switch it
set
up?
up for you you had a whole
Everybody
system
else.
and lingo already set up for you from day one, and you're just not going to use it. Okay, sure, whatever.
They're like,
I don't
fuck
live
it.
in Ohio. Um,
True.
so 70% of these Indiana voters wanted it.
Yep.
Only 27% were opposed. And of that, only 16% said that they would be less
Yeah.
likely to politically support someone who voted to legalize cannabis for adult use. So they probably wouldn't vote So 16%.
Yeah.
It would
So
affect their
most people were like, it's fine. I don't care. There's
most
other
people are
things
getting
that they
high.
could
Is
be.
that what that
Yeah,
tells me? Or they don't give a shit?
basically, right? I mean, there's other polls, that we've shared before that show our generations and stuff are smoking more than previous generations did, or drinking less. So I
Smoking
mean,
more, drinking
I don't.
less.
Speaking of drinking, Pat, here, there's a brewery you go to that's got a bunch of like weed themed drinks, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good example of some pretty obvious stoners up in Indiana. 450 North, my favorite brewery, I think. They make a lot of the fun slushy beers and stuff like that. But they always
Hell
got
yeah,
great fun artwork on their cans, and a lot of it is cannabis themed. I had a can once that on the can it was just a Pokemon card, and on that Pokemon card was a dab rig.
that's sick,
Um, yeah, they have a whole. There are ones that are constantly just pumping out. Like I feel like they come out with 10 new flavors a day, and you can't keep up.
yeah,
You
it's
can't find the
crazy,
same one twice. So that they're the masters of the limited release. But I mean, I think they would. I would love to see a 450 North infused drink.
right?
Like,
That'd be sick. I mean, if Jones Soda can do it, if they're already
yeah,
dipping their toes in the themes of it, I mean,
yeah,
that'd be really sick to see.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, I got that. Got that right here. This is a perfect example
No,
of what
yeah,
could happen.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be really sick. Because I do they make a
Michigan, baby.
non-alcoholic version of the the 450 North?
I'm not sure. I know they do. I think they're dipping their toes into like seltzers and stuff like that. So
There,
that's an easy tie over because that's something you don't really see infused beer, like even if it's like a non-alcoholic beer.
that's
Um,
true. Should
you
be a
don't see
weird one.
infused beer. Um, I'm sure someone's tried it out there, but not to my knowledge. I mean, I'd give it a shot. Um, Speaking of Republican backing, though, I mean, you even have the governor-elect Mike Braun of Indiana. He told the Chicago Tribune in a truly politician response that he is,
I
quote,
mean,
probably favorably
favorably
disposed
disposed.
towards medical use of marijuana. So he's probably favorably disposed towards medical use of marijuana. And I think when it comes to medical marijuana, there is a lot of groups, veterans and others, that really find beneficial use from it.
So he sees
So, I
select
mean,
groups
that's about as
benefit
big
from
as a
it,
thumbs up you're probably going to get from the dude right now.
right?
Um, you got to remember he's the governor of Indiana. So,
Yeah,
which I
gotta
just
tread lightly.
learned probably had a bit more stoners than I thought, honestly.
You're like, hold up.
Um, but yeah, like I said previously, both the firm that conducted the study and the firm that released the results both have Republican ties too. So this just really drives me to believe that there's going to be, if and when it happens, it's going to be
Yeah,
pretty bipartisan here, which I love to see.
because I don't believe they have any like current legislation trying to be pushed through to legalize in any form that I'm aware of.
Um, what are you smoking on? I mean, we're talking about all this weed. What you
Oh,
got over
well,
there?
Pat, well, while you're asking, I know we've been talking about some dispensary stuff here. I'm dabbing on a baller bucket of Gazerful that I picked up from the refinery over in that good old New Buffalo that everybody here from Illinois is running off to all the time, man.
I
Oh,
got one
look.
of those too.
Oh, shit. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is
Gazerful, dude.
actually nice. I was impressed with this. I mean, nothing like absolutely crazy, but I found this to be a nice daily driver. Pretty decent color to that. I'm going darker these days, so I mean, that is a pretty almost perfect color for me for for a live resin.
We were talking about that where we weren't sure if it was like CRC or not at first because of the
Yeah,
pininess, and then we looked into the details and we're like, nope, it's supposed to have that. Like
yeah,
it's
it's
not an
super piney.
overwhelming piney, but like what was that? The like a gassiness too
Yeah,
on there.
yeah, piney gas. But I just cracked into my home grow this week. I got some
Uh,
gorilla Skittles here.
you think Indiana will have? Oh, if they do it,
Will they have what? Come again?
homegrown. You think Indiana will do home grow in their legalization if they do it?
You know,
I
I
honestly
think they
thought you were
will.
about to say I
Well,
couldn't hear you.
I think they will just because that's pretty much what everybody else is doing to a certain degree. I think, well, I don't have the data to back this up, just more of a feeling that more states that do have adult use also have home grow. Um,
Yeah,
what states don't?
this is true. Hold up here. I'm checking on Ohio. Ohio can have
Okay. Let me
six
show off my notes here,
plants
though.
per individual with a limit of 12 plants per total residence, where two or more for adult use. So adult use can only grow two at a time. Where if you're a medical patient, you can grow up to 12 plants in your residence, six per individual. So
So that beats Illinois.
that kicks Illinois' ass. That's a
Yeah,
nice layout. That's something I wish they'd come back and revisit in Illinois. I know they're
12
probably not
plants.
going to
Wow.
touch shit with the taxes right now until GTI gets out of the way, but
12 plants.
12.
Um, so I'm thinking they're gonna allow three.
Yeah, nice
Three
in
for
between right
medical.
there.
Three for
Illinois doesn't
medical.
get any for recreational.
Yeah, I
I'd
don't
be
think
curious to see if
Indiana's
they
gonna
do it
do it
for
for rec.
no rec. Okay.
I say no rec and three for med. First,
Yeah,
they got to
that's
get
a
a
fair
med
bet.
program because they don't even have a med program right now.
Nope.
So, um, that is the first step, and I see that coming three, 3 years. Next
Okay.
three
Yeah, I was
years,
gonna say three to four
they'll
years
get a
is
med
on my
program,
timeline.
and then within 5, 6 years, that's when they'll go adult use.
Okay. Yeah, I agree about that though with the home grow not happening for the adult use because I think the Indiana State Police specifically would
Yeah,
be very hard lining against that. But shit,
hell yeah.
yeah, no, I interesting little poll that came out there. It was done over 1,252 Indiana voters conducted between October 30th to November 3rd. So a nice little short polling right there.
Yeah, not a huge sample size, but enough to get a decent idea. I wonder if we up that sample size to like say 10,000 voters, how similar that would be.
Right. See how much if anything, would change drastically.
Yeah. But I still think they're getting the majority. 70% is huge. You know,
Yeah.
elections are usually like these type of shit is usually within 5%. Um, that really is the pass, don't pass. So that's big. And I
That
really
is.
hope to see it. I would think it would make everyone's lives a little bit easier.
Oh, I'm just looking up a number here. What was this? Um, 40% of customers in Niles come from Indiana, is this old poll from February 10th of 2023 from the Indiana Public. So,
What that would do to New Buffalo too.
yeah, I was gonna say with the more recent dispensaries popping off there, I'd be really curious about that now because I'm sure that's only gone up.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting little poll there. See how long it takes these guys to get a bill going to get medical going there.
Well, yeah.
But shit, you got anything else about this article?
I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna take another last rip of this grill of Skittles here.
Get at it. I'll wrap it up here. Uh, if you guys haven't already done so, make sure to jump down, hit that subscribe button, drop a thumbs up, and click that bell in the top right hand corner. And then let us know down in the comments when you think Indiana's going to legalize and any other thoughts or opinions you guys might have. As always, I'm Patrick from Midwest Days, and over there we
I'm
got
Pat from Westtown Weed.
damn right.